What is up, people? This is the Oracle. We are back online. I'm back at playing Magic. It's been quite a while, but the vintage cube, is now online. I'm really thrilled about that. So options. Liliana is pretty strong. We could just first pick that. I guess Shrine is pretty good in the mono red burn deck. Swiss Spear is pretty good too. Pearl's decent if you are playing some type of combo deck. Protector's fine, not really something I want to first pick though. This looks more like a legacy cube draft booster than a vintage cube draft booster. Nothing too powerful, but Liliana's pretty good. I think I'm just gonna go with that. Alright, still nothing crazy. No piece of power. Dismember is fine. I'm not sure I really want to second pick a revolt, especially in the vintage cube. Like, I want to do things that are more powerful than just, playing good creatures and killing my opponent's good creatures. I do like archetype quite a bit in legacy cube, a little bit less in vintage cube. Wall of Fruit is very powerful. I mean, it's not very powerful, but it's a good ramp card. Nothing is really super appealing, I feel like. Lotus Bloom is interesting if you want to play Storm, but it's not even a card I like a lot. It's a little bit clunky when you draw it when you are storming a little bit later on the game. I guess I'm gonna pick Dismember because I'm really not thrilled about anything else, but again, not an especially exciting pack. Okay, I do like Lion's Eye Diamond quite a lot. It's one of the most important cards to be able to storm in the vintage cube, and storming is pretty sweet. So I could see picking that and hopefully willing empty the Warrens. The two first cards we pick don't really go especially well in storm, but I don't really mind that. I mean, if storm is open, it's not really a big deal that we missed the two first picks. And Storm is it's my favorite archetype to play in Vintage Cube. It's just so fun. Not the strongest one, not the most consistent one, but definitely one of the coolest one to assemble and play with, I believe. Green Zenith is probably among the best cards here. There's also a Hell Rider if you want to go red burn. Workshop is pretty strong, but it really requires you to build around quite a lot. Spellsky, it's decent, not super exciting. I think we'll go with LED and see if we can get some more Storm cards. Ooh, this pack is kind of good for Storm. We have Memory Jar, Green Tutor, and Gush, I guess, is pretty good too. Counterspell might be the best card, but I think I'm just gonna go for one of these Storm cards and try to do that. I'm not sure which one is better. Jar is pretty good. Kind of works well if you are playing a kind of a mana ramp / slower, storm deck with a lot of signets and a lot of mana in general. You can just ramp into that, and then once you have 6 mana, you can play a bunch of things, Jar, play some more things. It's pretty good. Grim Tutor works pretty well with LED. You can play that, hold priority, sack LED, and then do things. Maybe fetch something like Yawgmoth's Wheel. Pretty important to have good tutors in Storm. I think I'm gonna go with Tutor. Also, if we end up not playing Storm, but just a regular black whatever deck it might be, Grim Tutor is quite playable. Whereas, well, I guess Memory Jar is playable in any deck too, but it's weaker. Interesting. So we have Bitter Blossom. If we maybe abandon the Storm plan and just want to go for some base black value deck of some sort. Splinter Twin, I guess, is an option, but at this point I don't think we are really gonna go for the Splinter Twin combo. Witness is interesting if you can play some green in your Storm deck, I guess, and then there's Ancestral Vision, which is, I guess, just pretty good in Storm, pretty good in any deck. I think we'll go with Vision. Cabal Ritual, alright, that's interesting. There's also a Watery Grave. Coercive Porter, I think it's quite strong and a little bit underrated. Like, this is basically a Phyrexian arena that you can play in any deck and that doesn't hurt you. I've been fairly impressed with that card. Rigorous is also sometimes pretty good in Storm. I guess it's easier to cast than Witness, but kind of does the same thing. I think we kind of want to pick the Ritual now. The question is, do we get a little bit greedy and pick Watery Grave, hoping to wheel Ritual? And maybe with the idea that if Ritual doesn't wheel, someone else will try, is trying to play Storm, and there's no point in doing that. I think I'm going to do that. If it wheels, fine. I will try to Storm, and if it doesn't wheel, well, I'll assume someone else, is trying to do the same thing, and maybe it's not the best idea. Here I'll pick Dark Ritual, though. Even if we end up again playing some base black value deck, this might have some uses, like playing a turn 1 Liliana is kind of sweet. And if we end up playing Storm, it's a key card, obviously. Yep. Nothing super exciting here. A couple of good cards for a red burn deck, obviously, but not a whole lot. Pissing Needle is fine, it's a good hybrid option, but I don't think we'll pick anything good for any main deck here, so just go with Needle. Barrel. I haven't played with Barrel in Storm yet. I think it's the first iteration of Vintage Cube with Barrel. Yes, it is. Maybe it was in last winter Vintage Cube. I don't think so though. I don't even think it's gonna be good. Like, it's good in the modern Storm deck, but here I'm not sure it's gonna do a whole lot. It kind of depends on how the deck is built. Bring to Light might be more interesting actually. I think Bring to Light has higher potential in Storm than Barrel actually. Ice is fine. It cycles, it buys you a little bit of time early on. I don't think we'll play enough green for Wall of Fruit. We might end up splashing a little bit for Bring, but that's probably about it. No one's playing green? Maybe I should be playing green. I'm gonna pick Nighthawk though. Yeah, it's a little bit too late to go into the green deck, I think. If I have a ton of fetches, maybe I'll end up playing Deathrite Shaman. I kinda doubt it. Bitter Blossom wheeled, okay, not too bad. This was the pack with Cabal Ritual and it did not wheel. Which doesn't necessarily indicate that someone else is playing Storm. Maybe someone just picked it, because there was nothing else, or cut it. I don't really know, but we got Ritual and LED, which are like really important. And depending on how the deck end up being, Watery Grave might be more important than Cabal Ritual anyway. So I'm not feeling too bad about this pick. In any case, Probe might be the better option for a Storm deck. Academy is pretty good too, potentially, but right now we have one artifact, and it's not an artifact that, will stay on the battlefield. The best card in the pack is Roughlose, obviously, but not really doing that here. Strix is my favorite card here in blue-black, but it's not very good in Storm. I guess it's fine, it buys you time and cycles itself. Anticipate is decent too. This is double colored, so it has a higher chance to wheel. I kind of love Gitaxian Probe in Storm though. I'm gonna pick Probe. It's quite close though. Might not be the right pick. Okay, well I do like Preordain a lot. Fastbone is also interesting. If you can assemble some Fastbone, Crucible, Fetch shenanigans, it's kinda cool. It's a very powerful card. It might just wheel though, because it's kind of a weird card that's, you cannot put in any deck. And Preordain is just great no matter what. So I think we'll just pick that. I'm not a big fan of Mind's Desire. I guess a card that did not wheel is Empty the Warrens. So since both Empty the Warrens and Cabal Ritual did not wheel, maybe it's, a red flag to not try to Storm. Right now we don't even have a storm card, and Mind's Desire I don't think is the type of win condition we want here. So maybe I should just try to do something else. But I think from this spot we can easily turn into some blue-black control deck. That's gonna be fine too. I'm gonna pick Daze. There's nothing else that really seems interesting here. Ooh, Street Mine. Street Mine is kind of cool if we get the Crucible, maybe Fastbone, who knows? Couple reanimation targets, but we haven't seen any reanimation spell. Spectre is fine on turn 1 with Dark Ritual, not so appealing afterwards. I think we'll just pick Street Mine. Cannot really go wrong with Street Mine. Okay, well, not sure that we'll be playing a third color, so I'm not sure how good Painful Truce will be. I think it's a little bit too late to try to storm. To reanimate. Urborg is fine, especially if we try to play cards like Street Mine, it could help us. I'm not really sold on Painful Truce. I think there's a pretty high chance we don't end up playing 3 colors, and pay 3, draw 2, lose 2 in Vintage Cube is just very much underpowered, so doesn't sound like a good idea. Nothing's great here. I guess we'll pick Diabolic Edict, but I'm not particularly thrilled about that pick. Things are not going super well. It's kind of weird because we pick a lot of black and pretty much cut black pack 1, and we are not seeing any good black pack 2. I don't know. Only some Naya cards, I guess, here. I guess there's a chance we play Traverse if we end up playing some green. Okay, Toxic Deluge helps us if we wanna play a control deck. Sweeper is gonna be necessary. Ruthless Wield? Ugh. Damn. I guess I could still in theory play green-black. Should have gone green. Kinda got blinded by the idea of playing Storm, I guess, to some extent, but this is really the deck I love to play in this cube, and I'm looking forward to playing in general. And Vintage Cube is mostly about having fun and preferences, so yeah. But here it looks like just maybe going green is what we should be doing, like, yeah. Alright, sure, yeah. I'm not a big fan of Elder, by the way. Yeah. Will be green-black, mid-range, I guess, of some sort. I don't mind being there. Right now the Stride Shaman is looking awful, but it might get better. Somehow we still got 2 pretty good 1-mana elves, the Ruthless. Yeah, I don't know. Green is just wide open, I guess. There's a chance we end up playing Sultai. I kinda doubt it though. Probe is playable in any deck basically, so we might want to play that. We have a Watery Grave. We'll see. Another Mana Dork? Okay. Well, I guess we are green. I mean, when you see the Mana Dorks going this late and Ruthless Wheeling, there's a chance you should be green, should have been green. Interesting. Mox Emerald, Primeval Titan. There's also Empty Tarak and Reanimate, which are both pretty strong, but Titan or Mox Emerald, that's rather close. It's probably gonna be Mox Emerald. Well, that's kinda strange. Mind Twist. Mind Twist is quite broken in green-black ramp. Like, it cannot really get much better than, when you have a ton of 1-mana elves. I mean, Tree Speaker is one of the best 1-drop, if not the best 1-drop for this deck, but it might just wheel. I mean, if Ruthless wheels, this can very well wheel. And Mind Twist is just bonkers, so Let's do that. Shall we? Okay. Well, deck is shaping up. I did not really expect going into that. But this is where we are at right now. I don't think Toxic Deluge is very good here. With a bunch of mana dorks, but who knows. Nighthawk's playable, not very exciting playable. That's right, I don't think is ever gonna be good. And Probe, you know, you can always put that in your deck. Interesting. Hopefully we are willing those elves. Living Death is sometimes pretty good in black-green when you have Survival of the Fittest. It's not really the case here. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I don't think we'll be picking that. I kind of want some discard, but I don't believe this is better than Elf. So the pick is basically between Garruk and Elf, and I think I like Garruk slightly more. So I'm going to pick Garruk and hope to just wield the Arbor Elf. At this point, what I need is fixing too. Like, not having any piece of fixing when you're trying to, you know, cast Rufflos and some double black cards is a bit greedy and risky. Grave Titan is a great card to ramp into. Dark Confident, I don't really think so. Right now, the card that costs the most in our deck is just Grave Titan, which is, you know, not that big. It's kind of good, but it might just wheel, and Elvish Mystic is just what we want, I believe, here. I've rarely seen green being that open in Cube. Given that it's one of the best color, it's pretty surprising. Ooh, interesting. So we have Gaia's Cradle, which is actually not that great right now. It's kind of cool with Bitter Blossom. We don't have a ton of creature though. Like, we don't really have a ton of creature. Oath of Nissa is, it's not looking great. We are playing a decent amount of non-creature, non-planeswalker cards. And Terastodon is... we can't really cast that now. So I guess it's gonna be Cradle, but right now it's not super exciting. Hopefully I can wheel Fiend. Fiend is probably gonna be quite good here. Okay, yeah, no one's playing green. Or at least no one wants mana dorks. Yeah, whatever. Seasons Pass. This is kinda cool actually. Because having a huge card advantage effect like that in the deck is quite appealing. Now, Jite, any piece of equipment in the deck with a bunch of cheap mana dorks that will not do a whole lot later on the game is really appealing. And there's a full Kiki-Jiki combo in one pack, plus Electrolyze. It's kind of funny. Jite or Seasons Past? Kind of close. I think we'll pick Jite. Jite is pretty cool with Bitter Blossom too. Ooh, the Titan Wield. I like him to track, but it's gonna be kind of hard to cast those double black cards early on. And I could imagine Green Tutor and Liliana being fine in the later game too, but Imp to Track is a card you want to cast early on if possible, so I'm not thrilled about having that and not being able to cast it really. Skuzi is fine. I think our mana base is looking really bad, so I don't want Mutavault. Arbor Elf Wield. I have a ton of mana dorks, so I kind of want to pick Inquisition. On the other hand, not picking Arbor Elf when you have Cradle seems a little bit crazy. Revoker is fine. Alright, no one's playing red either. Alright, everyone went for Storm Control. Like, yeah, blue was really not up in this draft, so if anything, changing colors was the right call. Now, we're a little bit light on action still. So this counts as a land, and I think we'll be playing 16 land. I kind of want to play 15 here, to be honest. To be completely honest, but that's right, is really not good. Yeah, I guess we can play Night Oak. Double black is a little bit annoying though. This mana base is gonna be really crappy. Damn, I can only put that much land. So, well, this is still 7 green. Ugh, 7 green is really not enough. I cannot play Factory. I just can't. And Strip Mine. I don't know, it's really powerful, but it's quite risky. Strip Mine is a pretty messed up card, especially in a Ram deck. I think I still try to play it. So this would be 7 green. 8 green. 5 black. Jeez. The thing is that, I just need 1 green, but I really need it early on. And only 5 black. I mean, as long as I have Urborg, it's fine, and I guess I have Elf of Deep Shadow, but 5, this is 6 black for some double black spell. This seems so ambitious. Can't really bring myself to cut Strip Mine here, though. But maybe I should just cut Night Oak, which is really mediocre, and bring in a Swamp. A little bit worried about getting flooded though, because when you have 16 lands and a ton of mana accelerant like that, and not a lot of big impactful card, it's always a bit risky. But I guess this is what we got. Deck would probably have been much better if we went a little bit earlier into green. But I think the good news is that at some point we realized that the blue thing will not work, and hopefully we realize that early enough where we still have a playable deck here. It's not really what I want to end up with when I'm playing Vintage Cube, but it's fine. It is functional and it can win, so there is that. In any case, that was the draft. I hope you folks enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and see you for round 1.